Hey guys, Argus here. So I just want to talk about if you should summon for Assault Meliodas or not, right? And because he's coming soon, right? I'm going to take a guess and say he's going to come next week. That's what I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming he's coming next week. He's either going to come up next week or he's going to come up in 3 weeks. I'm most certainly certain he's coming up next week, right? Because if you look at the banners, because they stayed in the dev notes that they're going to keep up with like the banner scheduling and stuff when it comes to like the fast banners and everything. We had two banners in between assault mode and the one, right? But that's a but there. The thing is that there's not really anything here except for these two, and then you have assault mode, right? Because we have everything else here, and there's nothing new in JP yet, right? Because we're still in this phase, right? We're still here. We're still in Merlin. Merlin is still the current banner out. We don't have our banner out for JP yet, so obviously the next banner that's coming out should obviously be assault mode, right? That's just obvious looking at exactly what the game is that's what's came out in JP versus global, because the only thing global's missing is assault mode, these two, and these two, right? So I don't think they're gonna release it. They might release these two next week, but I'm most certainly certain it's gonna be assault mode. And let's go over assault mode, and then I'll discuss this banner and discuss where you should summon her as a free-to-play player, right? Okay, so assault mode. His passive states if all allies are demons or have commandments, when allies take damage, increase stats by 5%, his stats by the way, and then decreases defense-related stats of all enemies by 15% for 2 turns. That is limited by 5 times, and it applies whenever he's entering battle, right? His first card is an AoE Rupture attack, right? His second card is a single target Amplify card, and his ult increases his basic stats by 50% for 3 turns and inflicts 350% of attack on all enemies. He is a very, very good unit. The problem with him right now is that he has his team, right, is Troll and Melascula. And that's the team we're going to be running, because if you don't run Melascula, he's dead. First turn, he's guaranteed dead if you don't run Melascula. Because a certain unit called the One Escanor basically one-shots everything in the game. And that is the problem with him, is that he doesn't have a way to stay alive long enough for his passive to kick in enough to where he can do enough damage to kill enemies, right? You would run him with Blue Droll and Red Melascula. Red Melascula, so he won't die right away. It'll take multiple attacks to get him down and killed, right? And then you run Blue Droll because Petrify, Taunt, and plus he gives a Resistance commandment, and his passive also applies a buff to allies, right? So those are the 2 units you're running with him. And the back, depending if you're gonna run Ult Rush or if you're gonna, you run Merlin. But if you're not gonna run Ult Rush, you'd probably run Red Zeldris. Though if you're playing ungeared, from my experience, from a person who's played a lot of Assault Meliodas and JP, Merlin Ult Rush is probably the best for him. Because in all honesty, facing the One Escanor, you're not going to last long. So you would have Assault Meliodas, right? You run Ult Gauge Food, you would run Merlin, and then you would Ult Rush so you could get Ult second turn when it comes to your turn again, right? Your second turn. this ult is so strong. This ult, because this applies right here, this applies, right? And then this applies. So you do creature-based stats by 50%, and then you do the damage. It is a very strong ult, and it usually kills. It kills very, very easily because how strong it actually is, right? So that's the way you would play Assault mode. I wouldn't really call him meta currently. Like, he's really, really good. You're going to see him around because he's actually really strong. But on according to the JP, it could be different for global. But going based off JP standards, he's not particularly meta, right? He's a really strong unit, and he's really good for PvE. He's good for PvP, It's just that there's not enough demon slash commandment units out currently to justify running him, right? Though, with us just getting Merlin, another Holy War Fez banner should be coming out soon, with Chandler, or they should be Chandler, right? With Chandler coming out, which could actually buff him to make him meta, make him extremely strong, right? We don't know exactly if Chandler's going to follow the story of Chandler or not, or if it's going to be a completely different Chandler, right? So we don't know. But he is a very strong unit. He's really good for PvE. Like, if you use him in Tower, he's really strong. He's just like the one Escort. He's severely good for PvE events, right? So he's actually a really good unit for PvE and PvP. Let's go look at his banner. Where's his banner at? Let's see here, new banner. Okay. His banner, in all honesty, is pretty good. So you have Berserk Meliodas. This is Assault Mode. This is new legend units. These are the ones that guarantee demons. Then you have Green Estarossa, Red Zeldris. That is not Red Dairy, but the Green Dairy, right? And then you have Blue Droll. I think that's Red Glocks. You have Blue Fraudran. You have is it Red that's in the coin shop? I don't remember which one's based in the coin shop. Bellion, Alate, then you have the 3 Archangels. This banner is actually a really good banner, right? Because the Archangels are really good. Glocks, depending on team, is actually pretty good, actually. Especially with Merlin. Not Merlin, Tarmail. There's a Tarmail team with Glocks that's actually really good. Blue Droll's top tier. He's amazing. Red Zeldris is pretty good. Estarossa is pretty good. And these are really good units for free-play players because they guarantee the demons that you need, right? And then, of course, Assault Mode. Honestly, this is actually a decent banner. But as a free-to-play player, should you summon? I'm going to say this. If you're thinking about either you want to summon for either the 1 or Assault Mode, right? Because the 1's banner is still out. The 1 is a much better unit. He is a much better unit than Assault Mode is. The thing about Assault Mode, like I said earlier, is just not that his team is currently not out. But that could change. That could change with future demon banners, right? Depending on what... Because there are multiple demon units that still haven't released. So there's going to be more demon units releasing that could buff him and his team up to being equal to the 1 Escanor. Because the 1 Escanor is very, very strong and doesn't particularly need a specific team to be ran on, because he himself, without Gother, without Death Pierce, without Luduciel, still does a lot of damage and just goes through units like it's nothing. Assault Mode relies on his team. He relies on the team that you build around him. He's a much more balanced unit, right? So if you want to summon him, go ahead. But if you already got the 1 and you want to summon, you want to try to summon on him, you like what he does, go ahead. Because in all honesty, he's a decent unit. He's a very good unit, right? He's above average. It's just currently right now there's not enough demon units to make him a viable meta-based PvP team. That will change. It most likely will change in the future. That's it. There's not much more to talk about, Adam. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye.